What's going on, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to give you 8 tips to help you increase your productivity. Now, before I get into that, productivity can be a little bit of a sensitive subject because on one hand, we always feel like, why do I always have to be productive? And like, I'm tired of productivity. I don't want to be productive. And it's not that productivity is the enemy. It's not that that's your problem. Your problem is you lack boundaries and self-care. And it's causing you to feel like you always have to be productive and you always have to be doing something. I can say that because I'm speaking from experience. As someone who has the nickname Busybody, I understand what it's like to just always be like, go, 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 to the point where now you feel like you completely burned out. But I have lots of videos on this channel about ways that you can prioritize yourself, increase your mental space, increase your entire well-being. So you can check those out as you watch this one. But just remember, it's not about productivity. It's about being able to balance things you need to get done and things you need for yourself. And sometimes they overlap. The things you need to get done are the things you need for yourself. Okay? So with that out the way, let's hop into this video. But the first one being to eat the frog. Eat the frog just means to do that task that is on your to-do list. That is not necessarily the most difficult, and it may not even necessarily be the most time-consuming task. But what it is a task that is going to make all the difference in your life, in your capacity, but also in your mental space. So think about that thing that's just like in the back of your mind, like, oh, I gotta do this, oh, I gotta do this, oh, I gotta. It could be something as simple as, renewing your passport. You got 3 months to renew your passport, and you wait. So you go through 3 months of thinking about this every day. Oh, I gotta renew my passport. I gotta renew my passport. I gotta renew my passport. But if you just did it, it'd be off your plate. So find that task, that thing that's just there gnawing at your brain. Eat that frog. Just get that out the way. Number 2, to go with that, diversify your to-do list. So oftentimes your entire list are things like renew your passport. It's just these things that you just keep putting off, and the list is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Your anxiety about these things is getting bigger. And now your anxiety is causing you to procrastinate it even further, because now you're thinking, well, if I take time to do this one thing, that's going to take me, let's say, 2 hours of my time, when I should be doing other stuff. But now everything's piling up. So now everything just seems like it's taking away time from you, time that you already don't really have, instead of giving time back. But I assure you, the opposite is true. Once you can get these things off your list, you be better for it. And so instead of just having an entire list of those kind of tasks, mix in some small mundane things that you can just quickly do today. So for example, if you have a list of daunting tasks, file taxes, renew passport, open savings account, start an investment portfolio, whatever. So you got these 4 things that are just like, and then you have these small things you can do, like call your mom, pick up this book from the library, whatever. So on your weekly list of things to do, instead of putting everything you need to do on there, pick 2 things that is your frogs, and pick like 3 things that are just like some small things that you'll get done, and make that what you focus on that week. So just diversify some stressful things with some not that stressful things. But if your entire list is just stressful activities, you're not going to get anything done. And productivity is going to go, woo. Number 3, make a plan. Please just make a plan. We spend so much time figuring out what to do that we don't do anything. So get a calendar. It's over there. But I was going to show you my little, what do you even call it? Planner. Yes. Like a little planner where you can just plan out like what you want to do this week. Get us a simple to-do list. Like, get things out of your mind and onto paper. Use your calendar, Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, whatever you like. Just put stuff out there so you can really see it and focus on it. Number 4, learn how to prioritize. There's this little chart, and it has like important, not so important, like urgent, not so urgent, something like that. I'll insert it here. But you have to be able to understand like what's important but not urgent. So for example, that could be maybe you're planning a birthday party for your mom's 50th. Okay, we're in September. Your mom's birthday is not till, let's say, April next year. So while it is important because it's your mom and you're in charge of planning this party, it's not really urgent because we still got 7 months, unless whatever you're planning involves like a reservation that's has to be reserved out that far. Like, yeah, but you get what I'm saying. It's just like something, a small little venue, a small little house party. You don't really need to be spending your energy on that today for something that's going to be 6 months from now, despite the fact that it is important. But your driver's license expires next week and you can't be driving without a license, and that's important and urgent. So you have to be able to understand, like, what do I absolutely need to do now, and start there. And then we can go down to what's important and then to things that are just not so important. And again, because I did say diversify your list, so it's okay if some of the not so important things takes priority, as long as it doesn't take priority over the things that are urgent. Okay, so don't put off renewing your passport. So don't put off renewing your ID that you need in a couple of days over buying a new pair of shoes that you need, soon, but not next week. So that's how we can kind of organize that. Number 5, and this one has worked so well for me because I am someone who, once I get into a task, I am locked in, focused, and centered. And I will just keep doing it until I burn out. and that's not good. So number 5 is to give yourself a time cap. Whatever you decide to work on, give yourself, this is how long I'm going to work on it this day. And let that be it. And that's especially for things that are like an ongoing task. So, maybe you're a writer, editor, or something. So it's like, you can't just be spending 6 hours writing. Maybe you just write for like an hour a day. So put on a timer. I'm going to write for an hour. Write for your hour. When the timer goes off, stop. Take a break. Do something else. Change tasks or whatever. But just give yourself time caps. Don't want to cut it off so that you don't run into burnout. And another reason that that's effective, despite avoiding burnout, is because it'll actually get you to do a task. How many times do you have this notion that if you can't finish it, you're not going to start it? So if you know that creating a website, for example, is going to take you an entire day, that means you're going to wait until you have an entire day to do it. But if you give yourself that time cap, I'm just going to work on it for an hour a day, you would have, finished that website in a week versus waiting for a day. Because you're never going to have a full day. Like that, let's be real. That's probably never going to happen. So now we're delaying when we could have just done a little bit towards your goal every single day. Think about studying something. You wait until you have a full day to study when you could just study for 30 minutes every day. Those little blocks really add up. So there you go. Give yourself a time cap. Number 6, this is another thing that I have worked in for myself, is know when you are most energetic and schedule your most important tasks then. If you know you're not a morning person, don't wake up and start your day with the thing that's going to use the most of your energy. If you know if you know that you're not a night person, if you're not a night owl, don't wait until the end of the day to try to do your most important thing. The energy, the brain power is just not going to be there. So figure out when your peak hours are and do your stuff then. Let these things work for you instead of against you. Okay, number 7, manage your distractions. Please, 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 please learn to use do not disturb. And here's why this is. I've been around people who just cannot let a notification exist. Like as soon as they get a notification, they have to look at it. Like if you've ever been having a conversation with someone, like their watch vibrates, they have to see like, oh, what is that? Oh, what is that? Phone vibrates, like what is that? Phone starts ringing, oh, who's that? It's like, I'm glad I'm not like this because it gives me anxiety just watching it, So just learn to put your phone on do not disturb so you're not getting those notifications if you're someone that just can't ignore it. And the reason for that is maybe someone did, let's say, text you or a notification did go off. You open your phone to check it. But how many times have you opened your phone for something and then you end up just being on there doing other stuff, just like mindlessly swiping on your home screen, like just on autopilot? You're like, okay, now let me open up Instagram, an hour scrolling. Oh, now let me open up this app, and then you forget why you even opened your phone in the first place. But now 30 minutes has passed, and you done been on TikTok for the whole time. So that's what happens when you allow yourself to just fall into your distractions. So learn to put your phone on do not disturb during your productive time. Just like make that your time block, like that tip I gave you earlier, of like giving yourself an hour for that hour or 2 hours, however long you want to give yourself. Just put your phone on do not disturb and just don't bother with it. The way you can focus and get your stuff done. I promise the notifications can wait. Okay, and you can even put your important contacts, let their notifications come through, like maybe just their phone calls. Because if it's an emergency, people will call you. Okay, so no one's going to text an emergency. They might, and then we don't respond, they're going to call you, right? So it's like if something's going wrong, you will get a call. I promise. Well, I'm not saying I promise, but I'm pretty certain you'll get a call. My last tip kind of ties back into how I opened this video was talking about ways of having boundaries, but also self-care. So tip number 8 is reward yourself. After you've been productive, after you've done the thing, after you ate the frog and blocked out the time and stayed focused and got things off your to-do list, reward yourself. Whether that's just resting, just lying down, scrolling on TikTok, if that's what you want to do. Though I advise to just not consume anything really. So kind of just, go on a walk, just like sit down, like relax, daydream, color, just do something to like reward yourself. If food is your thing, maybe have like a nice little treat, snack, whatever. But just give yourself like a pat on the back, something that makes you feel like, I did a good job today. And this is how I want to reward myself. Okay. That's going to be important, and it's going to make it likely that you do it again. All right. That is all my tips on this. If you are a reader, I also wrote a blog on this. In fact, I was sitting here with it while we were talking. So feel free to subscribe to my blog so that you can get content like this in letter form. And I highly appreciate that. If you like this video, you know what to do. Give me that thumbs up. The knowledge we gain is powerful, but it's the knowledge we share that makes a difference. So share this video with someone who could use a few productivity tips, and I will catch you in my next video. As always, don't forget to crush it.